program. We're so happy that you're here with us tonight. So glad to see your faces and your attendance in the Srimad Bhagavatam class. We are finally at chapter 71 in the 10th canto. So it's been quite a journey, if you know what I mean. This is the entire Srimad Bhagavatam we've kind of been through. And so we're just finishing up. I think there's 90 chapters, so we're not too far away from finishing the 10th canto, and we'll probably do a little quick perusal of the 11th and 12th canto as well regarding the avatars. So our whole series is based on the avatars, those personalities of Godhead who cross down into the material world. They don't actually enter the material world. They don't take material bodies. They're not subjected to the material energies like we are. They're liberated, siddhas. So they come here, and they come here to perform pastimes. And those pastimes are designed to attract us to want to go back home. We're not from here. We're fish out of water. Our situation is that we are spirit souls in a material body. So the material body is very much like a car or some type of vehicle, machine, and we're living in it. And we watch the machine, it needs repairs and it needs maintenance, and just like your car does. So, and then finally it breaks down. And so the issue is when it finally breaks down, where do you go? What do you do? So the avatars come to us to show us the way back home. That's the idea. And so do the pure devotees of the Lord and the sadhus and the shastras here for that purpose. And so there's 22 incarnations that are listed in Srimad Bhagavatam. We've gone through all of them at this point almost. And Krishna is the original supreme personality of Godhead. So we'll be discussing his activities tonight. And as usual, we always start out with pranams to our gurus. I'll say mine, and if you have some you'd like to say, please do. But repeat after me if you know it. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devim Gauravari Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Yadesha Tarane Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama
Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Beautiful, beautiful prayer. So I'll start out as usual. This is chapter 71. Krishna goes to Indraprastha. Text 1, Sukadeva Goswami said, having thus heard the statements of Devarsi Narada and understanding the opinions of both the assembly and Lord Krishna, the great-minded Uddhava began to speak. Sri Uddhava said, O Lord, as the sage advised, you should help your cousin fulfill his plan for performing the Rajasuya sacrifice. And you should also protect the kings who are begging for your shelter. Only one who has conquered all opponents in every direction can perform the Rajasuya sacrifice, O Almighty One. Thus, in my opinion, conquering Jarasandha will serve both purposes. By this decision, there will be great gain for us, and you will save the kings. Thus, Govinda, you will be glorified. The invincible King Jarasandha is as strong as 10,000 elephants. Indeed, other powerful warriors cannot defeat him. Only Bhima is equal to him in strength. He will be defeated in a match of single chariots, not when he is with his 100 military divisions. Now, Jarasandha is so devoted to Brahminical culture that he never refuses requests from Brahmins. And these are demoniac people that never refuse the request of a Brahmin. That's pretty good. Bhima should go to him disguised as a Brahmana and beg charity. Thus he will obtain single combat with Jarasandha, and in your presence, Bhima will no doubt kill him. Even Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva act only as your instruments in cosmic creation and annihilation, which are ultimately all done by you, the Supreme Lord, in your invisible aspect of time. In their homes, the godly wives of the imprisoned kings sing of your noble deeds, about how You will kill their husband's enemy and deliver them. The gopis also sing your glories, how you kill the enemy of the elephant king, Gajendra, and the enemy of Sita, daughter of Janaka, and the enemies of your own parents as well. So also do the sages who have obtained your shelter glorify you as do we ourselves. O Krishna, the killing of Jarasandha, which is certainly a reaction of his past sins, will bring immense benefit. Indeed, it will make possible the sacrificial ceremony you desire. Sukadeva Goswami said, O King Devarsi Narada, the Yadu elders and Lord Krishna all welcomed Uddhava's proposal, which was entirely auspicious and infallible. The almighty personality of Godhead, the son of Devaki, begged his superiors for permission to leave. Then he ordered his servants, headed by Daruka and Jaitra, to prepare for departure. O slayer of the enemies, after he had arranged for the departure of his wives, children, and baggage, and taken leave of Lord Sankarshan and King Ugrasena, Lord Krishna mounted his chariot, which had been brought by his driver. It flew the flag marked with the emblem of Garuda. As the vibrations resounding from mridangas, berries, kettle drums, conch shells, gomukas filled the sky in all directions, Lord Krishna set out on his journey. He was accompanied by his chief of officers of his corps of chariots, elephants, infantry, and cavalry, and surrounded on all sides by his fierce personal guard. Lord Achyuta's faithful wives, along with their children, followed by the Lord on golden palanquins carried by powerful men. The queens were adorned with fine clothing, ornaments, fragrant oils, and flower garlands, and they were surrounded on all sides by soldiers carrying swords and shields in their hands. And who would like to pick it up from here, guys? Who's next?
You leave off?
Yep. That's text 16. Anybody want that?
Yeah, I'll go.
Okay.
Radhi. The Lord, attended by all the Vrishnis, would enter the Sudharma assembly hall, which protects those who enter it from the 6 waves of material life, dear King. As the Almighty Supreme Lord would seat himself upon his exalted throne, there is an assembly hall. He shone with his unique effulgence, illuminating all the quarters of space, surrounded by the Yadus, lions among men. The best of the Yadus appeared like the moon amidst many stars.
Hey, can I ask you what verse is that you're reading?
That was 18 in Srimad Bhagavatam,
Okay.
chapter 70. Am I not in the right place?
Well, you're supposed to start on 16.
I did start on 16, and I read 2, and it. All right. I'll go again.
It's chapter 71.
Oh, I'm on 70. Excuse me.
Yes,
that's
right.
I knew something was weird.
That's all right.
Don't worry about it, Serena.
Me too.
I'm trying to follow you, girl.
That's wrong because there's 4 parts, and I had grabbed 3 instead of 4. I'm off tonight. Okay, let me go back. I'll get to 16. Okay. 71, 16.
Now, while you're doing that, if you want to take a little time and not be so rushed, Jack Krishna, are you there? I thought he was here.
Okay, I'm there.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, my apologies. Sorry,
No problem. No problem.
Now I lost my post.
Take your time.
Okay. On all sides proceeded finely adorned women, attendants of the royal household, as well as courtesans. They rode on palanquins. Okay. Palanquins and camels, bulls and buffalo, donkeys, mules, bullock carts, and elephants. Their conveyances were fully loaded with grass tents, blankets, clothes, and other items for the trip. The Lord's army boasted royal umbrellas, Kamara fans, and huge flagpoles with waving banners. During the day, the sun's rays reflected brightly from the soldiers' fine weapons, jewelry, helmets, and armor. Thus Lord Krishna's army, noisy with shouts and clatter, appeared like an ocean stirring with agitated waves and Timingala fish. Honored by Sri Krishna, the chief of the Yadus, Narada Muni, bowed down to the Lord. All of Narada's senses were satisfied by his meeting with Lord Krishna. Thus, having heard the decision of the Lord and having been worshipped by him, Narada placed him firmly within his heart and departed through the sky. With pleasing words, the Lord addressed the messenger sent by the kings. My dear messenger, I wish all good fortune to you. I shall arrange for the killing of King Magadha. Do not fear. Thus addressed, the messenger departed and accurately relayed the Lord's message to the kings. Eager for freedom, they waited expectantly for their meeting with Lord Krishna. As he traveled through the provinces of Arta, Swavira, Marudesa, and Vinasana, Lord Hari crossed rivers and passed mountains, cities, villages, cow pastures, and quarries. After crossing the rivers Jarasandha and Sarvasvati, he passed through Pankala and Matsya and finally came to Indraprastha. King Yudhisthira was delighted to hear that the Lord, who human beings rarely see, had now arrived. Accompanied by his priests and dear associates, the king came out to meet Lord Krishna. As songs and musical instruments resounded along with loud vibration of Vedic hymns, the king went forth with great reverence to meet Lord Hirikesha. Just as the senses go forth to meet the consciousness of life. The king of Yudhisthira melted with affection when he saw his dearmost friend, Lord Krishna, after such a long separation, and he embraced the Lord again and again. The eternal form of Lord Krishna is everlasting, resonance of the goddess of fortune. As soon as King Yudhisthira embraced him, the king became free of all the contamination of material existence. He immediately felt transcendental bliss and merged in an ocean of happiness. There were tears in his eyes, and his body shook due to ecstasy. He completely forgot that he was living in this material world. Then Bhima, his eyes brimming with tears, laughed with joy as he embraced his material cousin, Krishna, Arjuna, and the twins, Nakula and Sadhadevi, who also joyfully embraced their dearmost friend, the infallible Lord, and they cried profusely. Do you want me to keep going?
We're doing 15 each.
Okay. After Arjuna had embraced him once more, and Nakula and Sahadevi had offered him their obeisances, Lord Krishna bowed down to the brahmanas and elders present, thus properly honoring the respectful members of the Kuru, Sanjaya, and Kaikaya clans. Sutas, Mangadas, Gandharvas, Vandis, jesters, and Brahmanas all glorified the lotus-eyed Lord, some reciting prayers, some dancing and singing as mridingas, conch shells, kettle drums, vinas, pandavas, and gokumukas resounded. Thus surrounded by his well-wishing relatives and praised on all sides, Lord Krishna, the crest jewel of the justly renowned, entered the decorated city.
Okay, that's very good. Thank you,
I
Karinka.
think that's a good place to stop.
Yeah. So if Vamsi, are you there? Can you pick it up? Or would anybody else like? How about Windley? Are you reading along with us? Would you like to read? Or Heb, would you like to read? I don't know if you have your book up. You can also find us on vedabase.io. So if you just go to Google and put in Vedabase, VEDA base.io, this will come up and you can go to chapter 10 and Canto 10. And this will be chapter 71. And now we're on verse 31, 32. So, Vamsi, are you there? You're
Yes,
not?
Prabhuji.
Okay, would you like to read from 31?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Text 31, 32.
Right.
The roads of Indraprastha were sprinkled with water perfumed by the liquid from elephant's forehead, and colorful flags, golden gateways, and full water pots enhanced the city's splendor. Men and young girls were beautifully arrayed in fine new garments, adorned with flower garlands and ornaments, and anointed with aromatic sandalwood paste. Every home displayed glowing lamps and respectful offerings, and from the holes of the lattice windows drifted incense, further beautifying the city. Banners waved, and the roofs were decorated with golden domes on the broad silver bases. Thus, Lord Krishna saw the royal city of the king of the Kurus. When the young women of the city heard that Lord Krishna, the reservoir of pleasure for human eyes, had arrived, they hurriedly went into the royal road to see him. They abandoned their household duties and even left their husbands in bed, and in their eagerness, the knots of their hair and garments came loose. The royal road, being quite crowded with elephants, horses, chariots, and foot soldiers, the women climbed to the top of their houses where they caught sight of Lord Krishna and his queens. The city ladies scattered flowers upon the Lord, embraced him in their minds, and expressed their heartfelt welcome with broadly smiling glances. Observing Lord Mukunda's wives passing on the road like stars accompanying the moon, the women exclaimed, "What have these ladies done so that the best of men bestowed upon their eyes the joy of his generous smiles and playful sidelong glances?" In various places, citizens of the city came forward holding auspicious offerings for Lord Krishna, and sinless leaders of occupational guilds came forward to worship the Lord. With wide-eyed eyes, the members of the royal household came forward in a flurry to lovingly greet Lord Mukunda, and thus the Lord entered the royal palace. When Queen Pritha saw her nephew Krishna, the master of the three worlds, her heart became filled with love. Rising from her couch with her daughter-in-law, she embraced the Lord. King Yudhishthira respectfully brought Lord Govinda, the supreme god of gods, to his personal quarters. The king was so overcome with joy that he could not remember all the rituals of worship. Lord Krishna bowed down to his aunt and the wives of his elders. "O king!" And then Draupadi and the Lord's sister bowed down to him. Encouraged by her mother-in-law, Draupadi worships all of Lord Krishna's wives, including Rukmini, Satyabhama, Bhadra, Jambavati, Kalindi, Mitravinda, and the descendants of Shivi, the chaste Nagnajiti, and the other queens of the Lord who were present. Draupadi honored them all with such gifts as clothing, flower garlands, and jewelry. King Yudhishthira arranged for Krishna's rest and saw to it that all who came along with him, namely his queen, soldiers, ministers, and secretaries, were comfortably situated. He arranged that they would experience a new feature of reception every day while staying as guests of the Pandavas. Text 44-45. Desiring to please King Yudhishthira, the Lord resided at Indraprastha for several months. During his stay, he and Arjuna satisfied the fire god by offering him the Khandava forest, and they saved Mayadhana, who then built King Yudhishthira a celestial assembly hall. The Lord also took the opportunity to go riding in his chariot in the company of Arjuna, surrounded by retinue of soldiers. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. All right. Okay. So we're going to chapter 72 now, slaying of the demon Jarasandha. So who would like to grab a piece of that? Ranga, are you fired up?
Yep, I am. Thank
Figured
you.
you would be. Thank you, Vamsi. That was very nice.
Jai Krishna said his phone keeps kicking him out, so he's trying to download Zoom
Okay.
onto his laptop.
That's all right. We understand.
Hopefully he'll be able to join us then.
Mhm.
Okie dokie. So, Canto 10, Chapter 72, Text 1 and 2. Sukadev Goswami said, one day, as King Yudhisthira sat in the royal assembly, surrounded by eminent sages, brahmanas, kshatriyas, and vaishyas, and also by his brothers, spiritual masters, family elders, blood relations, in-laws, and friends, he addressed Lord Krishna as everyone listened. Sri Yudhisthira said, O Govinda, I desire to worship your auspicious, opulent expansions by the Rajasuya sacrifice, the kin of Vedic ceremonies. Please make our endeavor a success, my lord. Purified persons who constantly serve, meditate upon, and glorify your shoes, which destroy everything inauspicious, are sure to obtain freedom from material existence. O lotus-naveled one, even if they desire something in this world, they obtain it, whereas others, those who do not take shelter of you, are never satisfied, O Lord. Therefore, O Lord of Lords, let the people of this world see the power of devotional service rendered to your lotus feet. Please show them, O Mighty One, the position of those Kurus and Sanjayas who worship you, and the position of those who do not. Within your mind, there can be no differences as this one is mine and that is another's, because you are the supreme absolute truth, the super soul of all beings, always equipoised and enjoying transcendental happiness within yourself. Just like the heavenly desire tree, you bless all who properly worship you, granting their desired fruits in proportion to the service they render you. There is nothing wrong in this. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, your decision is perfect, O King, and thus your noble fame will spread to all the worlds, O tormentor of your enemies. Indeed, my Lord, for the great sages, the forefathers, and the demigods, for our well-wishing friends, and indeed for all living beings, the performance of this kin of Vedic sacrifices is desirable. First conquer all kins, bring the earth under your control, and collect all the required paraphernalia, then execute this great sacrifice. These brothers of yours, O kin, have taken birth as partial expansions of the demigods ruling various planets. And you are so self-controlled that you have conquered even me, who am unconquerable for those who cannot control their senses. No one in this world, even a demigod, What to speak of an earthly kin can defeat my devotee with his strength, beauty, fame, or riches? Sukadev Goswami said, upon hearing these words sung by the Supreme Lord, King Yudhisthira became joyful, and his face blossomed like a lotus. Thus he sent forth his brothers, who were empowered by Lord Vishnu's potency to conquer all directions. He sent Sahayadev to the south with the Sanjayas, Nakula to the west with the Matsyas, Arjuna to the north with the Kikayas, and Bhima to the east with the Madrakas. After defeating many kings with their prowess, these heroic brothers brought back abundant wealth for Yudhisthira Maharaj, who was intent on performing the sacrifice, O king. There you go. I think that's my 50.
I'd say it is. Now, who else do we have that wants to read? Anyone, or shall I read again?
I am.
Oh,
Hare
Sudev. All right,
Krishna.
there you are. Please read. Yes, thank you.
When King Yudhishthira heard that Jarasandha remained undefeated, he set to pondering, and then the primeval Lord Hari told him the means Uddhava had described for defeating Jarasandha. Thus, Bhima, Sena, Arjuna, and Krishna disguised themselves as Brahmanas and went to Giriraj. My dear king, where the son of Brihadrata was to be found. Disguised as Brahmana, the royal warrior approached Jarasandha at home during the appointed hour for receiving guests. They submitted their entreaty to that dutiful householder who was especially respectful to the Brahminical class. Krishna, Arjuna, and Bhima said, O king, know us to be needy guests who have come to you from afar. We wish all good upon you. Please grant us whatever we desire. What can the tolerance not bear? What will the wicked not do? What will the generous not give in charity? And who will those of equal vision see as an outsider? Indeed, is to be censured and pitied who, those able to do so, fail to achieve with his temporary body the lasting fame glory by great saints. Harishchandra, Rantideva, Uchavriti, Mongala, Sivi, Bali, and legendary Hunter and Pigeon, and many others have attained the prominent by means of impermanent. Sukadev Goswami said, from the song of their voice, their physical stature, and the mark of bowstring on their fourth arm, Jarasandha could tell that his guests were of the royal order. He began to think he had seen them somewhere before. Jarasandha thought, these are surely members of the royal order dressed as Brahmanas, but still I must grant their request for charity, even if they beg me for my own body. Indeed, the spotless glory of Bali Maharaj are heard throughout the world. Lord Vishnu, wishing to recover Indra's opulence from Bali, appeared before him in the guise of a Brahmana and made him fall from his powerful position. Thus, aware of the rules be and forbidden by his guru, Bali, king of the demon, still gave Vishnu the whole earth in charity. What is the use of an unqualified Kshatriyas who goes on living but frail to gain everlasting glory by working with his imperishable body for the benefit of Brahmanas? Sukadev Goswami continued, thus making up his mind, the generous Jarasandha addressed Krishna, Arjuna, and Bhim, O learned Brahmana, choose whatever you wish. I will give it to you, even if it is my own head. The Supreme Lord said, O exalted King, give us battle in the form of a jewel. If you think it fitting, we are prince and have come to beg a fight. We have no other request to make of you. Over there is Beam, O son of Prita, and this is his brother Arjuna. Know me to be their maternal cousin Krishna, your enemy. Sukadev Goswami continued, thus challenged Magadhara Raja laughed out loud, and contemptuously said, all right, you fool, I will give you a fight, but I will not fight with you, Krishna, for you are a coward. Your strength abandoned you in the midst of battle, and you flee your own capital of Mathura to take shelter in the sea. As for this one, Arjuna, he is not as old as I, nor is he very strong, since he is no match for me. He should not be contender. Beam, however, is as strong as I am. Having said this, Jarasandha offered Bhimasena a huge club, took up another himself, and went outside the city. The two heroes thus began battle each other on the level fighting ground outside the city. Maddened with the fury of combat, they struck each other with their lightning bolt-like club. As they silkfully circled left and right like actors dancing on stage, the fight presented a magnificent spectacle. Hare Krishna.
Very good. So, who would like to take this last? I think there's another 10. Vamsi, would you like to read again? Or Karunika, either one of you guys. You can split it up if you want to. It's up to
I'll
you.
go.
Okay. Take about, I think there's 10 left. So take just 5 or 6 and let Vamsi have a few.
Start on 35, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. As they skillfully circled left and right, the actors dancing on a stage, the fight presented a magnificent spectacle. When Jarasandha's and Bhimasena's clubs loudly collided, O king, the sound was like the impact of big tusks of 2 fighting elephants, or the crash of a thunderbolt in a flashing electrical storm. They swung their clubs at each other with such speed and force that as the clubs struck their shoulders, hips, feet, hands, thighs, and collarbones, the weapons were crushed and broken like branches of arca trees with which 2 enraged elephants furiously attacked each other. 30. Their clubs thus ruined, those great heroes among men angrily pummeled each other with their iron hard fists. As they slapped each other, the sound resembled the crash of elephants colliding or harsh thunderclaps. Stop here. Okay, I'll do 4. As they thus fought, the contest between opponents of equal training, strength, and stamina reached no conclusion. So as they kept on fighting, O king, without any let up.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Text 40. Lord Krishna knew the secret of his enemy Jarasandha's birth and death, and also how he had been given life by the demoness Jara. Considering all this, Lord Krishna imparted his special power to Bhima. Having determined how to kill the enemy, the Lord of infallible vision made a sign to Bhima by tearing in half a small branch of a tree. Understanding the sign, mighty Bhima, the best of fighters, seized his opponent by the feet and threw him to the ground. Bhima pressed down on one leg with his foot while grabbing Jarasandha's other leg in his hand, and just as a great elephant might break the branch of a tree, Bhima tore Jarasandha apart from the anus upwards. The king's subjects then saw him lying in 2 separate pieces, each with a single leg, thigh, testicles, hip, shoulder, arm, eye, eyebrow, and ear, and with half a back and chest.
Wow.
With the death of the Lord of Magadha, a great cry of lamentation arose. While Arjuna and Krishna congratulated Bhima by embracing him, the immeasurable Supreme Personality of Godhead, the sustainer and benefactor of all living beings, coronated Jarasandha's son Sahadeva as the new ruler of the Magadhas. The Lord then freed all the kings Jarasandha had imprisoned. Hare Krishna.
Wow, those are pretty phenomenal stories, aren't they?
Yeah.
And I mean, try to imagine in your mind, if you can, just watching this on a big screenplay like Steven Spielberg put it together or something. You could imagine. I mean, this is what people go to the movies to see. They want to see these epic adventures. They do want to see fighting. People do. Krishna has a fighting spirit. He comes to the material world to take care of it. It's not going on in the spiritual sky, but he's coming here to do it. And the reason is we've left Krishna and we've come to the material world to become Krishna. I want to check in with everybody. How's that going?
Say that again.
I said we left the spiritual world to come to the material world to try to become Krishna.
To try to become Krishna. Okay.
Yeah, well, we want to become Krishna. And my question is, how's that going?
Oh, good.
Okay.
Not so good yet. Huh? You're not the wealthiest yet, right? Not yet, anyway, right? Are you the most beautiful?
No.
Not yet. Okay. How about the most powerful? Is anybody in the room the most powerful? Raise your hand if you're the most powerful.
Not me.
Maybe.
Not me, Prabhu.
So,
everybody else in the room, I'm the most powerful.
Well, in the room you are because you might be the only one in the room, right?
That's what I said. The only one in there that I can be the most powerful. I can be the most anything because there's no comparison.
There you go. Well, let me just explain, guys. So the idea is when we come to the world, we come to forget Krishna. That's the first thing we do. And how does that happen? Well, when you take birth in a mother's womb, it's a very miserable condition. You can read Srimad Bhagavatam, describes that condition. It says that the baby's locked in upside down, head first, floating in the fluid of the natal sac. And in that situation, he's being scorched and burned by various acids and various amoebas and different things that are biting the baby. And the baby is actually in a horrible condition. So it describes, we read this actually, that the baby folds its hand. You can see this. The baby actually folds its hands and prays at a certain point to the Lord that if you will let me out of this situation, this time I promise I will never do this again. But when the baby comes out, even though he's greeted in the material world by a hard smack, and the first sound the baby makes is screaming in agony, he still wants to try to enjoy the material world. So in the material world, there aren't much enjoyment, really. There's cessation of misery here. So if you think that eating is pleasurable, that's nice. But how about starvation? Have you tried being hungry? So eating is just to temporarily relieve your misery. It's like Tylenol. You know, it says for temporary relief of pain and agony, right? So we found some way to block the pain or whatever it is. A lot of people do it with drugs, alcohol. They do it with whatever they can do. I was just reading about Hulk Hogan. He died. He was taking massive quantities of fentanyl. Whoa. Massive quantities because he was in such pain from fighting in his life like that. And, his body was in such pain. Now, Michael Jackson and Prince and all these other guys who died from fentanyl were just trying to get a night's sleep. They were just trying to rest, and they overdosed. So the idea is we want rest so bad. We want relief from pain so bad that we're willing to die to get it. Now, that's crazy. How bad is the pain that you're willing to die to get it? It's like the people who are on the Twin Towers at the top, and the building is flaming up and they're burning. They're willing to leap from the windows to get relief. Even though it's 100 stories down, they're willing to leap to their certain death to avoid that pain of the fire. So, guys, there is no pleasure here. There's threefold miseries. Count them. 1, 2, 3. What are they? Anybody know?
Threefold miseries.
I bet you do. Give me the first one, Vamsi.
Adibautika.
That's right. Then there's Daivika, and what's that? Adhyatmika. So these are three different types of pain and suffering, and they're caused by, what's the first one, Vamsi? You said Adibautika? What is it?
Adibautika are miseries caused by others to you. Right. Adhyatmika is what is caused by yourself to yourself.
And Adidivika is pain and suffering from volcanoes, hurricanes, tornadoes, fire caused by the divine providence, right? Which is coming. So the idea is this, that knowing that you are going to be in pain and you're going to pass at some point, the idea of the Vedas is to teach you to prepare yourself for that ultimate destination, right? So that's the entire purpose why Krishna is coming, to bring you back home and to prepare for you to meet him. So he's giving you this information over and over and over again. And one of the things that Krishna says, now we can go back through these chapters in just a second, but while his thought's fresh, I want to share this with you. In the Bhagavad Gita 2:47, Krishna says, you have the right to perform your prescribed duty. Now you may be a Vaishya, Sudra, you may be a Brahmana or a Kshatriya. Okay? That's your duty. Okay, that's what your function is. But he's very, very careful to say, you are not entitled to the fruits of the action. Who do the fruits of your action belong to?
Krishna.
You better know it. Why?
Because if you take it or anyone else takes it, then it doesn't manifest. I don't know. Everything goes to Krishna. I'm not sure of the formula. But
everything comes from Krishna. Everything goes to Krishna. Everything belongs to Krishna. When you give it back to Krishna, you've done your duty.
Right. Okay.
That's the duty. So when you give it back to Krishna, you then you have to not ever consider yourself the cause of the results of your activities and never be attached to not doing your duty. So the idea here in this particular verse that Krishna is saying, he's telling Arjuna, because he doesn't want to fight. Arjuna said, I'm not fighting. I'm not killing my friends. I'm not killing my relatives. I'm not going to do it. But Krishna says, yes, well, while speaking learned words, You're worried about stuff that's not even worth your grief. Do you not know that you're not a material body? Do you not even know that? So Prabhupada starts his preaching with, "You are not the material body." And many times he never really got too far away from that because people just can't understand. What do you mean I'm not my body? Well, let's analyze this a moment. Are you your nose? Is that what you really are? Are you your foot? Are you your leg or hand? Maybe you're your stomach. Maybe you're the intestines. I don't think so, right? So the idea, what are you? If those things are not actually you, then what is you? That's called Sankhya philosophy. Kapila brought Sankhya philosophy, the analytical study, to find the soul in all things. What is the soul? Where is the soul? What is it? What's its purpose? What's its function? So if you're not the body, then what are you? That's the question. And that little spark that they say, oh, he's passed away, that little spark is what you are. You're 1/10,000th the tip of a hair. You cannot be seen, right? Yet within that spark lies up to 80 plus percentage points of the power, the beauty, the wealth, the fame, everything of God. So when the Vishnu Dutas show up, they're expansions of Krishna from the spiritual sky. When they show up, the Yamadutas are frightened. Even death is afraid. You see what I'm saying? Even death is afraid of God. So that's why we take shelter of God. Who is not afraid of God? Is there anyone? Here we just saw Jarasandha. He actually called Krishna a coward because Krishna did actually run a couple of times and he went to the sea, did a bunch of things. But these are all tricks to bring about the destruction of the 17 armies. And then also of Rukmini, his death had to happen right after Rukmini was taken. And then also he wanted to do this in such a fashion that it set the stage for Sahadev to be the new ruler of the Magadhas. Okay, so these are all stories that are perfected. Krishna knows what he's doing. And he let Bhima tear him in half. Tore him in half. Now, how powerful is that? That's powerful. These guys were amazing Kshatriya warriors, and they had powers beyond our understanding thousands of years ago because they were in harmony with nature. Therefore, they had the power to manipulate nature on behalf of service to the Lord. Even the demons had power to manipulate nature for their own sense gratification. Hiranyakashipu and Yaksha, they took over the universe. They manipulated the universe. They exploited the universe. As a matter of fact, they created such chaos and havoc in the universe that they had to go to Krishna and go, save us from this guy. Brahma, all the demigods had to go, please save us from this guy. So Krishna is incarnating again and again and again and again and again. And why is he doing it? To show you these types of activities so that you shall become attractive. Now, as long as you understand that you do have the right to perform your duties, there's no question, but everything belongs to God. Now, you can keep a little bit like, all right, what did Yudhisthira do? What did Yudhisthira do? He sent out Nakula, Sahadev, he sent out Arjuna, he sent Bhima. Where did he send them? All over for what? What did he send them out for?
Ashwamedh Yagya.
That's correct, but why? Why did he want to conquer them?
He wanted power.
No, he didn't want power. He sent them out for a purpose. What was it? Anybody know? He sent them out to collect all the goods, to conquer them, and literally force them to engage in the Rajasuya sacrifice. Because by doing that, they would please the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and then they would be pleased. Just like if you offer food to the mouth, the hand's automatically pleased. If you try to feed the hand separately, you could rub food all over it, but you're going to die because it's not going to nourish you. So these kings we're all out. Somebody's got a hand. Jai's got a hand up.
Yes, Prabhu.
Let me
So,
finish this thought. Let me finish this thought. So
sure,
all
Prabhu.
these kings were out there and they were living separately. So Yudhisthira brought them under his control to engage them in devotional service. Now you know the answer. What's your question, Ajay?
Yes, Prabhu. So I just want, Yudhishthira Maharaj performed the Ashwamedh Yagna upon Krishna's advice to cleanse himself of the guilt from the Kurukshetra war and establish his sovereignty as emperor.
Yeah, but that's not this story.
Okay.
That's a different story. This is the story of the Rajasuya.
Okay.
But you're correct. He did do that at the very end of the entire Mahabharata, or at least his portion, and they actually left for the Himalayas after they did that sacrifice. He did.
Thanks for
So
clarifying.
yeah, we can read all that story, but that's good point, Jai. I appreciate that very much. So the idea is that these activities of the Lord are designed to bring everybody into a yogic state of connection with the Lord again. So none of these kings were following. As a matter of fact, in the Kali Yuga, many of the kings have become great demons. And that's why Krishna came to kill them over and over and over again. He did liberate all the kings that Jarasandha was holding. He did actually liberate them. But other kings he was killing, right? Why was he killing? Because they were not actual devotees of the Lord. They were asuras. Asura, even Jarasandha. We see that Jarasandha, what did he do? What did Jarasandha do? He performed all these sacrifices. He was willing to give his own head, just like Bali, to Krishna. That's pretty strong. I like that imagery. But he was willing to offer his own head to the Brahmanas. That's how pious he was. Completely pious. So even the great demons had these amazing powers because they were honoring the Brahmanas and they were following the Brahmanas. And the society had a head, the Brahminical head, and it had its arms, the Kshatriyas, it had its belly, the Vaishyas, and it also had its feet and legs, the Sudras. What's your question?
So, Prabhu, how do we define ourselves from materialistic people who give a lot of donations to the temples, but their motive is different? And then there's a devotee who's doing devotional service. How do you differentiate between both of them?
It's very easy to differentiate. One person in the Bible, there's a good analogy, and I'll tell you what it is. It says, two women are going to the well to draw water. Okay. One, when she draws the water, she's using it in the service of the Lord. So she is going to be liberated. The other woman is drawing the well so that she can go do all nonsense. Okay. So in that situation, she's looking for some material usage of the water. She's not looking to use it in devotional service. So the big difference here, karma kanda, is very simple. When you want something from the Lord and you want to do business with the Lord, you're going to serve him to get something off of him, literally. You're looking for something that you can get off of God. You want to do a business relationship with God. You want to do something and you expect to have something in return. And if you don't have something in the return, it's a very good chance that you're going to become atheistic. There's a great story about that. In England, Rangavati, our British devotee, with us, her ancestors in England during World War II, the women would pray every night because the RAF was facing the entire German army. They had already conquered the whole place, even France. And they were sitting there and the bombs are dropping on them every night. They can barely get out of the runway to even do a fight to stop these bombers. And so the women were praying every night, please, Lord, send our husbands home to us. So there's a story, as the story goes, as long as the husbands were coming back, everyone was praising God. Thank you, God. How wonderful you are. You've done what I've told you to do. You're an obedient God. Thank you. So when the the soldiers or the airmen wouldn't come home, then they would curse the Lord or deny the Lord or become atheistic because God didn't do as he was told. Is that a good attitude?
No.
So we don't want that attitude, do we? No, not at all. There's another story in Russia. I don't know if you ever heard this story, but during the Bolshevik Revolution, the people were starved to death. And the army had come and commandeered all their food, all their animals, all their crops, everything, all their clothes. I mean, they were literally starving and freezing to death. So in many cases, they had to go hide. And where would they go? Naturally, the temple or the church or wherever the mosque, wherever they could go, they went there. So you know what the Russians did? Does anybody know the story? No. So what the Russians did was they would come up with a truck full of bread and cheese and wine. And they would pull up in front of the church with a whole village in it. And they would send in a representative and go, guys, you're worshiping God in there. I want to know how that's working out for you. You're starving. You're freezing. You're not doing anything. You should come to me. I can give you more than God can give you. I can give you bread. I can give you meat, food. I can give you wine. All you have to do is renounce your religion, renounce your separatistness, and join the communist revolution and so forth and so on. So people would rather die than join that group. Some people did. Some people went and took the bread and the wine and whatever they could do. Other people would prefer to be dying instead of taking that up. So they were saying, you think your God's good? We're better than your God. We've got bread. We've got wine. What can your God do for you? It's kind of like what Hiranyakashipu said to Prahlad. He said, where's your God now? He said, is he in this column? And guess what? He was. It wasn't very long until Hiranyakashipu was bifurcated, laying in a horizontal position on the lap of the Lord, with his intestines as the Lord's garlands. See what I'm saying? So this is, we do not want to think that we deserve the fruits of our action. You don't have anything. You didn't create anything. What did you do? What did you do? Did you create the earth? Any one of you guys do it? You create seeds for food and life. Did you do that? You didn't do it. Did you make water so you could have some thirst? Did you create man and woman so you could have some sex life or family life? Did you do that? Anybody here did that? No. So who do you owe all this to? Who do you owe it to?
Krishna.
Thank you, Haribo. I'll go with that. That's beautiful. We owe it all to Krishna. Oh, it's 7:59. Guys, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, about 17 verses that I wanted to go over with you. I don't think we're going to do that tonight, but I think it's important for us to look at these stories and try to analyze from a kind of an objective position. What's our circumstance? What's our position? And why is Krishna doing all this stuff? Why is he doing it? What's the point? What's the point? Just killing people? Is that what Krishna likes to do? He likes it? What's he doing? No, he's got an idea that if he comes and he kills the miscreants, the duskritam, and he reestablishes the sadhunam, the devotees of the Lord in the world, then and only then can people become happy. Krishna wants to see you happy. Prabhupada used to say, chant and be happy. Be happy. Look, you can be happy when you give up everything to the Lord. If you think you're the owner of it, you're going to be miserable. Now, I got a little caveat I'm going to give you, okay? You're still going to be miserable, even after you surrender it to the Lord. But it's going to be a state of ecstasy because you're giving it to Krishna and you're watching him do his thing and you're satisfied with whatever he gives or whatever he offers. however he wants to do it. And you'll find out that at the end, Krishna had a better idea than yours. Not only will you find that out, but you'll be blessed unlimitedly, and everyone around you will too. And you'll be amazed at the brilliance and the intelligence and the genius of God, because he knows everything about everybody and everyone's heart all the time. He knows, and he's got to fulfill all this stuff. Hey, who's a family person here? Anybody had a family? Raise your hand. You had a family? Okay, yeah. So it's hard enough for you to try to keep your wife or your husband or your child or your aunt or somebody happy. Am I right? Has anybody been able to be real successful at that yet? It's tough, guys. It's tough. And that's Krishna's job. But he's doing it for trillions and trillions and trillions of people, of living entities, even the animals, all of the bugs, the creatures, the demigods, everybody. Krishna's dealing with their issues. And guess what? He loves it. He loves to do it. There's a movie with Jim Carrey in it, and it was what was it? Something Almighty, Bruce Almighty. Yeah, that was the name of it, Bruce Almighty. Yep. And he tried to be God for a couple of days, right? How'd that work out? You see what I'm saying, guys?
Do you remember the Post-it notes? And he was trying to keep up with everything, and he did Post-it notes, and then the whole apartment was one big Post-it. It was pretty funny.
Well, it is funny. It is funny looking at, and then he tried to make adjustments, and all it did was create more domino effect. And he was trying to deal with all that. This is our ignorance. We're not competent. We're not capable. Krishna's capable. So in the Bible, it says, first seek the kingdom of God, and then all things can be added unto you. Because without God, what do you got? Hopelessness. You've got your karma to live off. See how you like that. So when you're a devotee of the Lord, there's no more karma. There may be a little token karma that might come a little while. You might have to go through a little pain and suffering. You may think, Krishna, I'm giving you everything. I'm surrendered to you. Why are you making it so hard for me? Because you need those lessons, or Krishna would not be giving them to you as a good parent. Oh. Now, you may not want the lesson, but you need the lesson to come back home. And that tough love is the love that God is giving us in the material world. And guess what? He already told Arjuna, it ain't no big deal. If you think that you're born and you die forever, so what? Who cares? You're going to change your body today, tomorrow, next week, next month. Why not get it out of the way? He was telling Arjuna like this. After he told him he was not his body, that not to worry about it. You're an immortal soul. You can't be cut by weapons. You can't be moistened by water. You can't be burned by fire. You can't be withered by the wind. No one can divide you, cut you into pieces. No one can kill you. You never had a beginning. You'll never have an end. Krishna already told Arjuna that. And then he told him on top of it, he said, but if you're stupid enough to think that there's no soul and you are just a body, well, when you're born, your death is certain. So what? Go ahead and deal with it. What's the problem? If you think you're born and you die forever, what's the big deal? That's what he told Arjuna. So where did Vamsi go? Did Vamsi have to leave? Oh,
I'm here, Prabhuji.
Oh, okay. All right, Vamsi, we're getting ready to end the class. So if there are any other questions, or if Vamsi has some words of wisdom he'd like to share.
Yeah, Prabhuji, I just want to share something I've learned from Mahabharata that gives a little more detail about Jarasandha, like his birth. Where he was born of twin mothers, and only one half was born from each mother. And there was a demoness, like they threw out the two pieces because they thought it's just a piece of flesh that was born instead of a baby. But then this demoness called Jara put the two pieces together, and suddenly Jarasandha started living. Like
that's why he was torn apart again.
Yes. So Krishna, he's Supreme Personality of Godhead in everybody's heart, knows everything. And so he instructed Bhima to kind of tear him apart. That's the only way to kill him.
Plus,
And
Bhima loved to play with clubs, didn't he?
yeah.
All right. That's
Yeah.
a good story. Thank you for that.
Yeah. And there's a little more detail where they throw, like Bhima throws the two pieces in two directions so that nobody brings them together and attaches, and um, he he regains his life again because that's how he was born. So,
Yeah.
and it's all shown by Krishna with the twig he tears and throws in the both directions. So,
Nice.
yeah, that's oh.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Anything else? Jai, you still there? You got anything to add? Vamsi?
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
just
what you
seeing.
got?
So there's few things online added by Heb. So he said, discernment is how you know. It has to do with our intention. Alluristic or not, right, Gayatri? And then he says, people tend to not get their way and act like spoiled children. We need to relinquish the idea and thought that we deserve or own this or that and give it back to him, because everything is him and his.
Love that. Thank you for that, Heb. Thank you very much. That's very, very illuminating and perfectly correct. Yeah, Krishna agrees with that. That's perfect. Thank you for that commentary. Yeah, we're so blessed to have the answers to all of the questions of life. We're so blessed, guys. Let me tell you, there's a friend of mine going through a divorce right now with his wife, and they're trying to stay together. They're having a very difficult time. And they've been to multiple Christian counselors and all these people, and they've not been able to get any solutions at all. And in the last 3 meetings, they've asked me to kind of moderate their arguments. They're lovey-dovey now. They're back together. Why? Not because I'm intelligent or anything like that. It's just because I'm using the information that I've been given by my guru and from the Shastra to solve their problems. That's it. And we have the solution. We have the solution to life. We have the solution to death. We have the cure for death once and for all. Prabhupada said, going back home, back to Godhead. He's always saying, let's go back home, back to Godhead. So that's where we want to go. And the only way to get there is don't do karma kanda, like Ajay was saying earlier. What's the difference? Don't try to get more in the material world because you're going to lose it. Doesn't matter what it is. I mean, you can have it here and use it in Krishna's service. That's fine. There's not a problem. But if you're doing it as a selfish function, it's not going to work out. Just like if you're making a lot of money, you should give the first part of that money should go to Krishna. Always. Always. And you can see here that Jarasandha would give the Brahmanas anything they asked for. Anything. Why? Because he knew the Brahmins weren't going to go take it and do some nonsense thing with it. They were going to use it for the benefit of the public and for everyone. To spread love for Krishna, understanding for Krishna, facilities and temples for Krishna, and so forth and so on. So that's our purpose in life, guys. Once we know that, we're karma free. We're going home. We're going back to Godhead. Now, could you be happy knowing you're going home back to Godhead? Yeah. No more death, no more disease, no more suffering, no adi daivika, adi atmika, adi bhautika, none of that. We don't have to do that anymore. No more threefold miseries, no more whatever. Now, we're not even asking for that. We're not even asking for that. We're just saying, Krishna, whatever you want to do, that's what we want to do with you. If it pleases you, we're pleased. We just read in the last story that the devotee asked, always let me remember you. Narada Muni asked, his only request was, dear Lord, please never let me forget you. Let me always remember you wherever I go, whatever I do. Always remember you. That was his only prayer. Think about it, guys. I mean, all we got to do is try to purify ourselves and get the right understanding of life and approach life in the right way, practically, every day. This is not some highfalutin philosophy. This is something anybody can grasp on a grassroots level. The gopis did, and Prabhupada said they were Aborigine girls. They didn't have any education. So you just need to grasp love of God, grasp that this belongs to God. Let me give a little bit back. Even a child can offer a flower to the parent. They may not have anything else to offer, no knowledge, no intelligence, no power, no strength, no nothing. They give a flower to the Lord. The parent's very happy. Same thing exists with Krishna. Guys, thank you so much for being here tonight. Is there anything else anybody wants to add before we end the class? Okay.
I'd like to say one thing. Thank you very
Okay.
much for this amazing class. You've taken us out of this world of darkness and enlightened us with the wisdom of Srimad Bhagavatam. Thank you very much, Prabhu.
The only thing that we can say is that somehow or another we were blessed enough to meet the spiritual master. And the spiritual master he lightened our eyes, he illuminated us with a torchlight of knowledge. And that knowledge is available to everyone now by his mercy. We're simply following in his footsteps, and we need all your prayers to be able to continue that. So chant after me. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Krishna Krishna.
Krishna
Krishna Krishna.
Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare Hare.
Hare Rama.
Hare
Hare
Rama.
Rama.
Hare Rama.
Hare
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 Rama.
Rama.
Rama Rama.
Ram
Rama
Ram.
Rama.
Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare.
You guys are beautiful. You're beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for being here tonight. You've enlivened me very, very much. I really appreciate your association. And always pray for each other. And we'll continue to ask Krishna for his continued blessings upon each and every one of you and your whole family, and that he will bring a peace in your life and bring a realization of the absolute truth and your connection to it through this bhakti yoga process. Okay? Hare Krishna.
Hare
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 Krishna.
Krishna, Prabhu.
Have a
Dandavat
great-
pranams.
All right, have a great weekend, guys. I love you all. Thank you very much.
Radhe Radhe.
Prabhu.
Haribo.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dandapranam.
Haribo.